Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Districts. And my name's Susanna, and I live with trains. And today, you find me at the front end of the layout, and I've got a layout update for you, quite a big one actually. But first, before we get on to that, I just thought I'd quickly go over some of the comments from the last video, which was on the container game. And essentially, most of you have turned around and said you've either experimented or you're looking to experiment with the container game, and I'm glad to be of help with that. And also, a few of you had also mentioned some other ideas of maybe expanding it by adding points and sort of going, oh, you get 2 points for this and 4 points for that. But quite frankly, I'm just quite happy. I don't want to get too intense with it. I just want to make it random, and I just want to make it fun without being too getting too deep into it, because the way that a lot of US layouts work with cards and stuff like that, and dice and various other methods, some of it it's all about picking and choosing and filtering out what you want. I mean, some of it can be quite intense, I've seen some operations out there where it's like there's so much paperwork as if you're really doing the real thing, and it's, to me, I just want a slice of it without being too in-depth, so I wanted to keep it fun and light. So it's basically just filtering out and taking out bits and pieces from it to see what will suit you. But the container game does work, and I really enjoy playing it, and it makes it fun, and it creates a bit of randomness to the operations. Also, somebody mentioned about the pregnant woman on the platform. Yes, it is a pregnant woman, and not a woman with trapped wings, by the way, which is what somebody suggested. And that's pretty much it for the highlights of the comments from the last video. Bear with me one moment. And I was just on my iPad to try and get the comments, because a lot of the time I don't remember. Sometimes you look at these things and say, yeah, I'll remember this and I'll remember that, and then you get in front of the camera and you can't remember what you were supposed to say. So let's get on with some of the some of the updates in this video. And last week I mentioned Diesel Dog models, and I mentioned the fact that I got a little forklift from him. Well, forklift, but it also comes with a bucket. And I just wanted to show you what I've done further with him, because I've actually added a little man. There you go, look, I've added a little driver to it. So it looks quite cool now, and now it's got a driver in it. He's actually doing some work, so that's cool. So on top of that, I actually ordered some more stuff from him. And Alex is a really nice guy. He sent me some lovely messages and sort of said to me, if I need anything, just contact him. So this week, now I'm going to put this alongside some of the other vehicles so you can get an idea and a perspective and a contrast of scale. But I ordered a little mini digger, and that arrived today. My apologies if you can hear a dog in the background. It's just incessant. And there you go, there's the mini digger. And it is so cool. Now, this is how it comes when you receive it. So this is like a grey 3D print. I haven't actually, as you can see, I haven't actually painted it. In case anyone is under the illusion that I've just painted it in grey or something. This is actually how it comes. And just like the forklift, it doesn't rotate. It's just tracks, and it doesn't rotate or anything like that. The arm doesn't actually bend or move or anything like that. It's literally just a static model, and it is absolutely cool. The quality of the print is absolutely fabulous, which is why I really do like these little, and it's great for a little street scene. And like you see, like those companies, the water companies like Clancy, Docra. In fact, when I was on the buses yesterday, I got held up at a temporary set of lights because they were doing some roadworks, and Clancy Docker had one of their little mini diggers. They're actually digging up the road and all the rest of it. So that is really, really cool. Along with that, he also sent this cute diddy little... I mentioned that I wanted to get a skid steer, and he sent a skid steer. Now I have to show, I will show it to you in scale, because it's just so you can get an idea of just how small compared to some of the other vehicles are. So when you buy it, you don't kind of think, oh, okay, this isn't quite what I was expecting or something. But I already knew it was going to be like this. So it's such a tiny little thing, and it's so cute. This is called a skid steer. And again, this is how it's arrived. I haven't painted it. You get the bucket, and that's a separate item, and you just slot it in. And you basically see these on construction sites to get into little kind of corners and little areas. Sometimes you see them on like if they're building houses and things like that, and you sometimes in tight spaces, because they can be, because they're so small. It's just so cute. And it's so nice. If I can just try and do it like that. So, and like I said, it's an absolutely brilliant print. And he also sent as a few other little bits and pieces. Got a pallet there. I'm not quite sure what this is. It looks like a tank. Maybe like a, I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but I'm sure I'll find out. So I'll be looking to get some more stuff from him in the near future, because there are some other bits and pieces that I've seen on his eBay site that I really want to get for the depot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you around, and I'm going to show it to you just in scale, so you can actually get an idea of what the scale is between the various vehicles. Now, he did actually put, I think in one of his, I think I saw an image on his website, now I can't remember whereabouts I saw it, where he actually had the three that I've got sort of together, so you can sort of see the sizes. So I'm just going to spin you around, but I'll do it here on the layout. So just to give you a sense of scale, so you get an idea, I've stuck the Biffa lorry, the Biffa dust cart at the back, because that's kind of like the latest thing that many people have, and that will give you an idea of the size of it and how much bigger or smaller things are. And you kind of got, you see it, forgive the shadows, you can sort of see it in the sort of sizes. So you've got the forklift there, and then you've got the mini digger, and then the tiny little skid steer at the front. So I can't wait to get the skid steer and the mini digger painted up. So that's a nice little project that I've got to do at some point in the near future. And once again, it is from Diesel Dog Models on eBay if you are interested in any of this stuff. It is worth checking out. I'm not, just to say, I'm not sponsored by him or anything like that. It's just, you know, I really do value his products. They're really good products. They're products that I haven't really seen anyone else do. The quality of the prints is like really, really good. And like I said, he kindly sent me, I did mention that I wanted to get the skid steer, and he did actually send me the skid steer. I actually paid for the mini digger. So thank you, Alex, for that. That's really, really kind. If you want to get the mini digger, I believe it's £9.99 unpainted, and I think he was doing it as £19.99 if you wanted it painted, I think. And the skid steer, I think, was £7.99 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but like I said, do check out his eBay site if you are interested. Now, whilst I'm here, another thing I've been doing is I've been doing the foliage along here, and that kind of just to blend in the corners. I haven't done all of it, but it's just the majority of it along here, because I've still got more fencing to put up. But this is just to sort of tidy up the edges so it doesn't look so unfinished. The other thing I've been doing along here is I've been starting to add the fencing that I bought. So there's some fencing there, and there's some more fencing along the back. So all those yellow little actually not fencing, I should call it railings, that's what it is. The other thing I've been doing, let me see if I can do this one-handed. Right. There we go. I've also painted the flooring, so that's the kind of base for the workshop, as it were. So that I've been doing as well. So let me just put that sort of more or less where it's supposed to be, and that sort of gives me a footprint. We have a new arrival to the layout. We have this orange Freightliner 08. Now the reason why I wanted to get this one was because actually it was going at a good price. It was, I think it's 127 was the regular price for it, but I didn't pay anywhere near that, so I got it for under 100. So I'm really pleased with that, and that was a DCC ready, because the one at the back, the green one, which I have been using, I got that at an amazing price as well. I actually paid only £60 for that DCC fitted. The problem is with the one at the back is actually it's hardwired. Whereas the one at the front's actually got a socket in it. So what I wanted to do is actually put some sound into it, but putting some sound into this one, which has got a DCC hardwired decoder in it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to, so I decided just to get this one because I really wanted this one anyway. So I'll probably end up keeping that one as well, but I really wanted one with sound. But I'd seen Richard over at Roads and Rails put some sound into this, and it sounds really good. So I would like to get some sound into that. I've also got a little chappie over there. He's about to start his duty. He's about to get into that 59 over there. And I've also been test running that DMU, that green one. I found out because it was running a bit erratic. It wasn't really running that great, and I found out that the wipers for the pickups needed adjusting, and it seems to be running a lot better now. Meanwhile, over here at the container terminal, you can see my Class 57 in Network Rail livery. Just an update on this thing. This has actually now got sound in it, so it sounds really, really cool. So I've been playing around with this thing, so this has got sound in it, so I'm really, really pleased with that. And it's nice to just have it run. I haven't run it for that much, so it's nice to have it running on the layout. So you now join me at the back end of the layout, and I've continued with my quest, as it were, to sort out the back end of the layout, which I was sort of talking about the village scene and extending it and changing it and all the rest of it. Well, things have got a bit radical, as you're about to find out. Things have gone a bit major around the back here. But it's all for a good cause, and I'll explain it to you. And also, the village scene hasn't gone totally, but it is going to be sort of moved. And you can see some of it, and I'll explain it to you in just a moment as I turn you around. So I'm going to spin you around, and then we'll go through it all. Okay, so bear with me a second. I'm going to spin you around, and then we'll see exactly what I've gone and done. So here we go. Right, so I've gone a little bit mad along here, but in all honesty, it's for the greater good. Now, as you can see, we sort of, for those of you who may or may, if I remember to put a photograph or an image, I'll put an image in the corner as to what it used to look like along here. But basically, we used to have the sort of abandoned farm over here sort of thing, and then it went up a ramp. And then we had a small house here, and then we had the bridge that went across. So essentially what I really wanted was to get my real estate back and sort of move what was here, and I'm going to put it sort of further back over there, which is what I'm going to show you shortly. And as you can see, I've been beavering away all week getting this done, and as you can see, there's a hard stand in there, and I've sort of started with some foliage just to sort of tidy up the perimeter. Now, it was a bit of an awkward job because when I originally did this years ago, I originally was using filler to do all of this. And also, so you might remember before that I used to have filler here, and it was just like like I said, it wasn't. But originally, I think it was a station, and then I changed it to a nuclear flask terminal, and then I had the abandoned farm, which I really liked, which I'm still going to probably use, but just move it. Um, but the problem is, trying to take up filler was going to be a complete nightmare. So what I've had to do is to create the rest of the hard standing, which I have here, is to actually infill it, which is exactly what I've done. So that was the easiest option. So basically what I've done is I've all the sort of squares that I had before on here, which were gouged out and carved out, I've filled them in. There was a sort of island in the middle here, which I filled in. And so this bit here that you can see, this side here on the right is all filler. But this side here on the left is actually foam board. And so what I've done is I've got some sugar paper, a massive sheet of sugar paper, placed it on the area that I wanted to cover and infill, and essentially just created a template to basically marry it up and join them together. And then basically what I've done is I've filled in the gaps so you can't actually see, so it just looks like one giant slab, when in fact the bit on the right is actually filler, this bit on the left is actually foam board. And I've been using foam board quite a lot of late, and I've really enjoyed working with it. I think it's good for this sort of application. I don't think it's really that great for the application that I tried to use with the building, but I definitely like it in this application. It's very quick, it's very easy to use, it's very easy to cut. And as you can see, I've also added a exit here. So I guess the next question that some of you guys have got on your mind is, okay, so what's going to happen here then? So essentially what's going to happen here is I'm going to have another depot here, but this time the depot is going to be a GBRF depot. I've got a number of GBRF locos, and this is a way of getting them out of boxes, storing them on the layout kind of thing, and if I want to run them, then at least to hand and I don't have to keep taking them out of boxes. And it'd be nice to create a nice depot. So I've got a couple of questions for you, which I'll come to at the end, and I'll pose the questions, and you guys can decide what you want to see. So I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment, and then we'll come back to this as we go along. Now I'm going to move you further along this way a little bit, and this will sort of show you a bit more, because, sorry if you can hear, that's just me moving the chair around. So I'm just going to zoom you a little bit further in. Now, one of the issues and one of the reasons for me doing this, which I mentioned in the last video, I think, was along the back here, I used to have basically this junction over here, which is behind there. Let me just move that and that out of the way, you can actually see the junction. So that junction and crossovers and everything like that, excuse me, all of that was down there. And it kind of made it a bit awkward when I was running, because it was quite high up. I had the bridge here and I had a bit of a hillside. So to get to this kind of area and try and reach, it was a bit of a pain. So that was another reason for just sort of clearing up this area. But I wanted to bring the junction further back and essentially at its narrowest point, because if you just sort of see it from here, let me see if I can zoom you out a bit. You can see this is the edge of the board here, and that's where the junction is, just here. So it's a lot easier to reach, and you're not stretching over, and anyone operating at the back of the layout would be like able to easily access these points without sort of having to reach over, and essentially trying to avoid damaging that semaphore signal that is there. So that's another reason. So at the moment I'm also working on this area here, which is essentially going to be the retaining wall, and it's a step down retaining wall. And let me just take you off the tripod, bear with me a minute. So you can see that you've got the retaining wall here, and then kind of goes underneath here. So this is now, so basically I've lost, I think, about a foot on the fiddle yard, but it all still fits and I'm happy enough with it. And then you kind of got the retaining wall that goes along the back here, that was at the front here. And then you're going to have a sort of road that goes across a low relief road, and then basically the village sort of scene will sort of be around the back here. Now what you can see I've done here is I've actually sort of cut out an outline of the trees, and I'm gonna, when I do come to do the village scene, I'm just gonna sort of overlap the trees over so you can't see the edges, and then it'll just make it seem like it's deeper than what it actually is. So you haven't got kind of, so it makes sense, because at the moment you've got the sky here, but if I sort of put some low relief buildings or some buildings behind it, it's not going to really make sense that the sky's in the way. So I'm going to probably sort of like trim it along, roughly along that the tree line there, and probably up until here, and then that's where the sort of village scene is going to be. It's going to be sort of along the back here on the top, up until about this point here, is what I'm thinking. So there is still some scope for the village scene, and in fact it still will be bigger than what it was. It's just going to be moved, but I just wanted to make the most out of this real estate. So this is the original sort of siding, but that siding is now going to go into the depot there. And I had this freeway point sort of that I took out that I wasn't using, so I'm now going to reuse it for the depot area, and it's going to go into this hard standing. So I'm going to have a GBRF depot here. And so to finish this video, I'm just going to pose a couple of questions for you. Now, just let me know what you think in the comments below, and what I'll do is on the next video I will probably come back to you at the beginning of the video and sort of share the comments that people have been putting up for this video. Now, what the question I was going to ask you is, well, questions really, is that Susanna's come build with me. I did say it was going to be delayed because of the heritage stuff, but I am actually planning on doing some more Susanna's come build with me before the heritage stuff. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is the engine shed for the GBRF engine shed is going to be the Susanna's come build with me. Now the question that I'm sort of asking is whether or not you'd like to see Susanna's come build with me do the hard standing or the little foliage that I've been doing first, just so you can sort of build up rather than sort of like, so it makes sense. So you put the scenery down first, and then you put the building. So that's the question really, is if you'd like to see me do a quick little video on how I did make my own sort of turf, or how I did my hard standing, then please put it in the comments below, and I'll do a Susanna's can build with me on that, because it's not very difficult and it won't take very long to do a video. Or in fact I could actually combine the two to make one Susanna's can build with me sort of like mini little video for that, and then after I will do the GBRF engine shed build for Susanna's can build with me. Now there is one actually at the front, which is the single road engine shed, which I did actually last year on Susanna's can build with me. So if you are interested in doing that one, there is actually a video out there from I think it's last year that I did it. So until the next time, it's goodbye from me, and my name's Susanna, and I live with trains. Take care now. Bye bye.